All right. Beautiful Cassie Coons and Max Lyons. We are finally together. We finally get to talk. This is great. We have the opportunity to have both of you here today to share a little peek behind the curtain of life as a marketer in-house versus with an agency. And so I guess to really get us started, let's just do a very quick intro of what you're doing now and how you got to where you are now. Let's start with Max.
Yeah, so I'm Max. I graduated from Utah State from the business school in 2024. So I'm a little over a year now post grad. I've been working at an agency called Duo Group. It's been awesome. I've actually been here since my freshman year. It started out as an internship that's just kind of snowballed into a full-time role that I'm in now.
Fantastic. And Cassie, where are you right now?
Yeah, right now I am at Gab Wireless, could be known as. I graduated from the Huntsman School of Business in 22 December. And I just barely started at Gab back in January. So before that, it was back and forth and all over the place. But I'm so grateful that I landed at Gab because it's my dream job.
Nice. So let's jump right into the first question here. Really, why did you decide to be where you are, in-house or an agency? What led you to feel like that was the best fit for you? So let's keep it in order. So Max.
Okay. So, I mean, like I said, for me, it kind of started out as an internship my freshman year. Like I had just switched into the marketing program as a marketing major, and obviously I needed an internship. So I saw that they were hiring. So I just kind of picked up 5 to 10 hours a week there, helping out with some content creation. And I love it. I like agency life because we work with such a wide variety of clients. So we're working in all sorts of different industries like healthcare, education, home services, technology companies. And so I guess that's kind of where I decided to pursue a career at an agency is just the diversity of the work I'm doing.
Would you say that that's fairly accurate to like when you, because getting an internship in the beginning, that's, you know, kind of take what you can get, but you also have chosen to stay there. You know, you've taken on the full-time role. Is it that diversity of clients and problems that you're solving? Is that still the thing that has kept you there? Because you've also been interacting with in-house marketing teams, no doubt, while you've been there too, the
Yeah.
in-house teams of your clients. And so what makes you prefer that agency life still?
I guess for me, I struggle to focus on one thing for a long period of time.
Mhm.
And so to be able to, work with, a school district one day, helping them on a video project, and then the next day sitting down with our team to discuss our next patient recruitment campaign for a hospital in Oregon. And talking with some of my coworkers that also have experience at in-house agencies that have come to, or in-house that have now come to our agency, and working with the marketing coordinators that are our clients, just kind of hearing their perspectives on things as well has just kind of, I guess that's kind of what has sold me on staying at an agency.
Makes sense. I like that. I like that. Cassie, what about you?
Yeah, I think that's really cool that you get to have your hands in all of the different things and such a cool way for networking and just to meet so many different people in different fields. That's so awesome. It was really my seed experiences at Utah State that pushed me to know that if I wasn't doing something in a mission driven or like humanitarian type role, that I would probably go crazy. So because I had those seed experiences afterwards, I just applied for everything under the sun. Unfortunately, after I graduated, the job market has been so tricky trying to like land what your dream is. So it really is felt like luck of the draw. And when I started at Gab, I had an offer with another company, but it was really the mission at Gab and the team and just the people there that really made me like so excited about Gab. So long story short, the mission driven side of Gab is what really pushed me to want to be in that in-house role and learning something more niche that I haven't had the experience to do before.
Very interesting. We're going to have to come back to that in a bit. You've said some interesting stuff, and I absolutely love it. Let's keep moving right along. What does a day in the life look like? I mean, we've got an agency, we've got in-house. Just a typical day. What does that feel like? What do you do?
Yeah. So I guess for me, working at an agency, I tell people I am sending emails all day long. Because when you work at an agency, you're kind of, unless you're in the creative role, you're as an account manager, you're kind of the middleman between our in-house agency team that's doing the creative development, the production, all that, and our clients meeting their needs. And so I'm back and forth between our clients all day, making sure we understand the scope of what they need, their goals for the next quarter for a specific campaign, and then kind of bridging that gap between our in-house team, making sure that they understand the scope as well and that everybody's on the same page so that we can be successful for our clients. So a lot of that involves, internally sitting down with our team, strategy meetings, just looking over each other's shoulders, seeing what they're working on, making sure it fits within brand guidelines, or I guess if I know a little thing about the client that, they're not going to like that because they don't like that color or whatever. I guess, just making sure everybody's on the same page is kind of most of what my day-to-day looks like. There'll be other days too where we're out of the office on site doing video shoots. Those are always fun. We've been able to do some business trips as well, flying out to visit clients in other states, just to help build relationships and network more with their team as well as our team.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cassie, what about you?
Yeah, I'd say pretty similar to Max. It feels email heavy at times. So with Gab, I'm on the affiliate side of the growth team. And so I do a lot of partnerships, a lot of communicating with the different partners and stuff. So we do travel as well, just to go to different conferences. But during my work in office days, I spend a lot of time with just my team, which feels like I just don't do a lot that day because it's just so fun to be around the people that I work with, especially since we're all going towards the same mission. We have the same goals. But I have 2 super heavy meeting days. That's when we're meeting with the marketing team. Well, because there's performance, growth, and marketing. Like we all work together. But there's a lot of meetings with legal or creative or just different colleagues with whatever they do, whether it's A/B testing or. But other than that, there's a lot of brainstorming strategies, how to best deal with these relationships, setting up meetings with the partners, pulling reports, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Nice. I think that's a perfect segue to our next thought. And let's not take turns. I want you to talk over each other on this one. The similarities. I feel like there's a lot of similarities already. So let's unpack what a lot of that is. Like what is the same? You're still working on strategy. There's a lot of communication, a lot of collaboration, but just having been around and exposed to both agency and in-house life, both of you to different extents and in different ways, what do you feel like the biggest similarities are between these types of jobs?
Yeah, I guess I can jump in. So kind of going what Cassie was saying about like working with her team, I would say collaboration is a huge part of just marketing in general. I guess at an agency, we not all of our clients fit in the same bubble. For some clients, we're basically their outsourced marketing department, and other clients, we're just running one Google campaign for them because they don't have somebody that knows how to run Google ads. And so in cases like that, I've been able to work more with the in-house teams a little bit more and just seeing the amount of collaboration that's needed and communication between everybody to make sure that everybody's on the same page is huge.
Yeah, I'd say the similarities that I'm seeing as well, the communication, especially with a lot of different people. I also think no matter what role you're in, whether it's marketing or whatever, you have to be willing to learn a lot of different things and be super diverse in your learnings. And I can see that Max is doing that probably every single day with networking, with learning new platforms, with asking questions and making sure you're getting the clients what they really need. And so I'd say probably the love and excitement with learning, communication, and then also I think the ability to travel and do all of that networking is really, really important and something that I wish I started way earlier, like when I was in college, is just meeting different people and learning from them, asking questions.
Mhm.
Even though you both have stuff to do, you've got your daily tasks, you've got your responsibilities, your scope of work that's typical. Just talking about the similarities, do you still have, whether you're in-house or agency, like reporting and comfort with data, and like is that part of this as well? Is just like the reporting up or reporting down of what's going on?
Yeah, I think it would be really, really hard to find a role now where you're not always in the depths of the data, figuring out how to analyze, how to read what's going on, and reporting to your boss, your managers, your clients. I think that's the majority of my days is looking at numbers and seeing what we can do to optimize.
Yeah, I would agree as well. I mean, it's maybe not top down throughout our whole company, but working with our creative teams and, the account managers are pulling data from what the creative teams are doing, and then they need to interpret that for our clients because, a lot of them, they come to us because they don't want to do marketing themselves. And so if we just throw numbers at them, they're not going to have a clue what it means. And I bet Cassie can relate to that too, having to explain the data and the why behind why certain things are happening. Otherwise, you're going to have upset people.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is fantastic. What about the differences you've both interfaced with both types quite a bit, just in different ways. What differences stand out to you between those?
I would say one of the biggest differences is I don't have the opportunity to be in a bunch of different industries all of the time and learning so many different things. Um, just talking with Max, I can tell he wears a lot of hats, and his team probably wears a lot of hats, and they just do a lot and probably have a lot of responsibilities. I wear one hat, and sometimes I'm like, "Can I have another hat?" And then my team is like, "Yeah, sure, whatever you want," which is really fun. And so I would say maybe, and I would love to hear Max what you have to say, but I'd say maybe getting really into the niche of what I'm doing with affiliate marketing specifically. I'm just focused on one thing, and then I have the capabilities to learn from like the SEO team, the influencer team, the social media team, whatever. But that's like more on my account, and if I want to. Whereas I'm assuming that's very different from Max's role.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying that you only wear one hat and wish you could wear more. I sometimes wish I could take off a few of my hats. And yeah, I guess I would probably agree that that's probably the biggest difference is um, our teams have to not only stay up to date on marketing trends as a whole, but specific marketing trends for a given industry. Um, Obviously, and I guess not even just trends, but regulations as well. We have a lot of compliance things that we have to deal with for some of our education clients as well as our healthcare clients. We have to make sure all of our campaigns are HIPAA compliant and we're not recording patient data where it shouldn't be recorded if people are calling in. And so just staying on top of all of that is kind of a lot to juggle sometimes. So I guess I'd say it's a double-edged sword because, I was just saying, I love the diversity between our clients and it's fun working in all the different industries, but at the same time, it can be a little bit overwhelming trying to juggle all of that.
That is a good point. That is it is entirely different between in-house and agency, right? Like, I've seen a lot of people get out of like the thing that pushes them to get out of them are those differences. It's, I have to be able to do more things, and so I'm leaving this in-house life because I just feel stuck in I don't like doing the one thing. I don't like being a specialist, doing the same thing for the same person. But then I see people jump just as fast out of agency life because you have so many different clients and it can be challenging, and they're so needy. And it's everything. And you smile because it's true. But it's really, really interesting, the broadness with which you approach what you do, and how that can differ so wildly. Because Cassie is the ultimate specialist. She gets to do that one thing and be the very best at that one thing for this one company with their goals. And man, you're all over the place, and you have to know at least a little about a lot, right? That being said, you're not as different as you would think, because Cassie still has to be interfacing and learning from and collaborating with the other teams too. You still have to be aware of what SEO is doing and what social is doing and what search is doing. All these things, right? You can't be siloed. So with that in mind, and just the growth that takes place within your role, what does progression look like within your current career path? From the time that you get into, as you ascend, what could somebody expect if I am going to climb the ladder, if you will, in an agency or in-house?
I was actually just thinking how in both of our roles, and that it could be very interesting to see either of us, if we ever were in the future, I'd love to freelance. I'd love to use my skills to work for other people or help small businesses grow, or help my uncle with this project he's doing or whatever. And how I feel like both of us in our different ways would have a really, really fun time doing something like that. That's not your question, because this is about climbing the ladder, but how Max has this super broad skill set where he can do so many different things and have so many resources of people he can go to ask. So if he ever was like, yeah, I want to do this on my own, has those skill sets and those opportunities that he can. And if I ever want to, it might have to be a little bit more granular in one specific skill set. But anyway, could be really awesome. But going into climbing the ladder, the corporate one, I would say my boss, when I first started, they said, give yourself 6 months, get the hang of things, be super patient, because I was just ready to hit the ground running. But I did have to learn a lot in my role, which I really love. And so I did take probably 4 to 6 months at the beginning of just learning and asking questions. And then now it's a lot of responsibility that's just mine. And I can see a very, very clear path of where I can go from here within Gab specifically, which I feel so grateful for, because there is a lot of opportunity for growth, which I'm assuming can be very different from Max's climbing of the ladder. So yeah, does that answer on my side of things?
Absolutely. Max, what about you?
Yeah, so I think for an agency, it depends on the agency and what they kind of specialize in. We've collaborated with other agencies in the past, and I look at their structure, and it just seemed very foreign to me because that's not how we are at Duo. But I guess speaking from my experience at Duo, what career progression kind of looks like, well, a lot of our team members have done is they start out like me in just a content creation, creative type position, and then kind of move into maybe overseeing some of those teams, and then jumping into an account manager role. And then beyond that, I've since moved into a business development role from account manager to where I'm kind of overseeing growth of the company as a whole. Mm-hmm. And we're a smaller agency too. We're not on Manhattan and some skyscraper. We're still here in Logan.
Yet.
Yes, right. But we are growing. And so career progression. I mean, if we have somebody that's starting now, I mean, if we're looking at it like a pyramid, they're kind of at the top as we build out. And so there's a lot of different ways that you could grow within an agency, I would say. And I think it kind of depends on the structure of the agency as well. But I guess for the most part, maybe starting out in a creative role and then moving up from there.
So would you say like a lot of your responsibilities are going into like sales too, like finding new people to be working with that way? Oh, that's really cool.
So as I've kind of entered the business development side of things, I've been doing a lot more with sales. And so I kind of oversee our sales team now. We have a cold caller that I kind of manage and build out lists for him that of people that he needs to reach out to and how he should reach out to them, things like that. But then still working with our creative team as well, because I mean, it's not like we're not marketing ourselves online either. And so just kind of overseeing those campaigns as well. But yeah, wow. I guess does that.
Yeah, I think the next question should be, what is Max not doing and what is Cassie? Just kidding.
No, because I mean, I guess kind of going back to your thought before we jumped into this is moving outside of an agency or moving outside of a role, outside of our roles, I guess you could say. You're a lot more specialized in what you do. I'm sure with affiliate marketing, you have way more experience than I have for sure. But because I mean, like we do it. I mean, we do it for our clients. I've never been specifically on that team. So I mean, like I can talk it and I can sell it to people, but for me to go out and try to do affiliate marketing for somebody as a freelancer, I probably would not be the best person to come to.
That's awesome.
I'm sure you could figure it out. You're practically an influencer.
So. Yeah,
there you go.
All right. So let's shift a little bit then. Given your path here, it's taken a lot of work to get where you are. Everything from obviously applying and like earning your keep, even for somebody like Max that's been there for a few years, like you had to present compelling evidence for them to want to keep you, like year after year. And like Cassie, it is really, really like, it's a massive flex saying that you do marketing for Gab. Like it is a really, really big deal and cannot be understated. What are some of the things that students could do before they apply so that they can be like you, so they can stand out and be like, not be overlooked? Because it, like Cassie said before, it's hard. It's really hard out there. And so we need to give the students the tools that they need to really stand out. So what is it that they can be doing?
We're both talking at once. I'll let Max go.
Okay. I guess what I would say students can do to help stand out is try to develop as many hard skills as they can. I mean, the business school offers things like getting certified in the Microsoft Office suite, and that's huge. But even things as well, like learning how to do Google ads, learning how to run Facebook ads, how to take basic pictures or video, things like that, to be able to create basic social media content, I think is huge when applying to a job or internship, even if at least for an agency, even if you're not applying to a role where you will just be running Google ads as your whole job. As an account manager, you still need to know how Google ads run. Because when you're talking to a client, when they come to you with, hey, we need to, say we're talking about a hospital, we need to increase patient leads by whatever percent. Our account managers need to be able to say, okay, if these are your goals and this is your budget, why don't we run a Google Ads campaign? And this could be beneficial for X, Y, and Z. And so developing as many hard skills as you can outside of what you're taught in your regular classes, I think would be huge to help you stand out.
Righteous. All right. Ms. Coons, what do you think?
I completely agree with Max. I literally have do more niche things. Like I wish I did more niche things when I was in college. And also something I've realized is college is the time where you can ask questions and where you can like be dumb. You don't have to know anything when you're in college, and it's just such a great opportunity to learn. And so, yeah, I wish I did just a lot more niche things as well as a lot more networking. I mean, you can never do enough networking. And so, going to all of the events that Utah State has for you, talking with people, connecting with them, asking them questions. And I think just, I mean, you always talk about dare mighty things, but just doing hard things, taking new opportunities, and maybe you'll be terrified and have imposter syndrome, but just do it anyway, because when else are you going to be able to learn so many things?
That's a good point. Staying on this topic, what do you? I just want one of the big problems that students will frequently have to, I guess they got to navigate this is that they want to develop the hard skills, they want to get some experience, but they don't have that internship. They don't have that job that gives them the environment to do that, or potentially the resources that as they see it. What are some of the impressive things that you have seen others do, perhaps applicants or others that, I don't know, what are some of the things that you've seen done that demonstrate a good background in hard skills, and I guess people trying to create experiences for themselves that students could be also doing to supplement all of this, to get experience beyond the classroom, but not necessarily within the structure of an internship or something. I'm thinking, for example, like creating your own portfolio of creative, or getting certifications or something, like the Google Analytics certificate and things like that. But what are some of those other things that students could be doing outside of structure to gain those skills?
I I would say I want to touch back on networking a little bit too, and understanding how valuable a resource your classmates are at Utah State. Like they're more than just your classmates; they're the people that are going to be advocating for you in a given role. Like I can think of somebody that we just hired actually in an account manager position, knew our operations person from school, or sorry, they knew of each other, but they had a mutual friend that they had met at school that was able to, oh, hey, yeah, no, this person's awesome. Like hire them over whoever else you're looking for. And because they both had those well-established connections with that person, that person was hired for that role. And so I would say things like joining clubs and going to all the Huntsman events, even if it's just a pizza party, like you're still there building connections and relationships with your classmates that are truly the foundation of your career network.
Fantastic. Cassie, any other ideas?
Yeah, I'd say not being afraid to learn, like just asking questions to everybody and anybody, but also like there's so many resources now with AI and LinkedIn, and there's so many free courses. I think learning things, even if you're not super interested in, but you know that it's going to be useful, anything with data, anything with like even SEO is so much AI now. And how can you implement that to make it beneficial for a company? And being willing just to communicate with people that have different skill sets than you, and yeah, learning different softwares. You're always going to be learning a new software, whatever role you're in. And so just showing that you're eager and willing to learn, I think is a huge step up ahead of anybody that is like, yeah, no, I'm already good at what I do. I already know who I know. I don't need to know anything else. So yeah, utilize all the resources. There's so much at Utah State specifically that you have the opportunity. It's probably more than you even realize. And so asking the career specialists, asking professors, going to all the events, like Max said, even if they're not super applicable to you or you don't think they probably are.
Yeah. So I've got just 2 more questions for you. One of them is a surprise. But before we get to the surprise one, I want to make sure that students have just the base level of skills that they absolutely need. That if you're going to be considered for a job in agency life or in-house, I've got to make sure that I've got these technical skills down pat. What are they? What are like the foundational? You've got to be able to do this, or you have no chance here. What are those foundational skills that somebody needs?
I guess I would say foundational skills in marketing today are a basic understanding of digital platforms, which I know sounds kind of broad, but you may not need to know necessarily entirely how to run a full Facebook campaign for a multi-million-dollar client. But understanding how you can leverage these platforms in marketing, I think is huge. And so kind of going back to what Cassidy's saying, like not being afraid to learn, but knowing how to learn how marketing works. Like marketing is, out of all the different programs at the business school, I would say marketing is the one that is going to change by far the most on any given day, really. Facebook could come out and change their algorithm some way, and then we have to completely go and revamp all of our campaigns.
It happens.
And so I guess that's kind of what I would say, is just a basic understanding of the major digital platforms.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I would also say anything with data. Like that's the one, like what I've always heard, data is the new gold. And I think that that's so true. If you can be able to make a story out of the data that you're seeing, if you're able to just look at a spreadsheet and know what's going on and ask questions about it. I remember in my interview, I was asked like, oh, what questions do you have about this? And it was a spreadsheet. And then I started asking questions and they were like, yeah, that's why we hired you, because you were willing to ask and learn. And you weren't just explaining to us what was happening because you had no idea. So yeah, the willingness to learn, being willing to test things like A/B testing. You always have to be willing to see something, but that maybe you're in love with, but be willing to test something against it and see if it will be better. So always being willing to optimize. And then like Max said, like you have to be adaptable and willing to change things up, and that's going to keep your life super exciting, but also super frustrating. So yeah.
Fantastic. You ready for my surprise question?
Let's hear it.
This is it. All right. Before I let you go, what I need you to tell me is why agency life or in-house marketing life is the best. You gotta say why like agency is better than in-house all day long for a career, or
should we
in-house
answer for each other?
You've got to it's like a debate, but I'm going to give you you've got just one moment. You get one chance. All right. So sell agency life.
Yeah. Okay. So
sell agency life. You love agency life if.
Yeah, I was like, no pressure here, I guess. But if I were to, I guess I've kind of touched on some of these points before, but what I love the most about agency life is truly just being able to work with so many different people beyond just the industries. I mean, it keeps the day interesting to be able to work across industries, but to be able to work with so many different people is huge. It's helped me understand more about the world around me, I guess you could say, because the needs of a healthcare administrator are going to be very different than the needs of a school district superintendent or somebody that just owns a home builder, other like trades like that. It just gives you a unique perspective on life, and it helps keep you agile in your marketing. trying to meet the different needs of not only your clients, but their clients as well. If that makes sense. I don't know, that was kind of jumbled, but
There we go. All right. The variety is the
variety,
spice of
yes. I
life,
guess
right?
sum it
Yeah.
all up, variety.
A lot of different types of clients, lots of different industries, lots of different types of problems that you're solving. It's definitely a way to get a lot of experience really quick.
Yes.
I've certainly felt that agency life is a way to, 1 year in an agency is like 5 years in-house somewhere, because you're all over the place. It's crazy.
Yes.
All right, Cassie, you had a little extra time, but tell us why is in-house just so much better? Obviously so much better.
I love in-house because I'm able to learn those niche things that I think that was when I was searching for roles. I just really wanted to be good at something instead of like just, oh, I know everything, like, which is great. Sorry. But I really love being able to zone in on one thing, and it opens up a whole new world as well, because all of a sudden there's like celebrities and affiliate marketing that you're like, this is so weird and nerdy, but why am I so excited about this? Or you will demo like a new platform and you'll be like, this is going to make my life so much easier, I'm so excited, and you're like married to the idea and you're so excited about this like one new platform. And so yeah, I think it's just a way to be really excited and really know that your role is going to change and how can you change with it. But I would say having a mission driven company is like the end all be all for me, and being able to like make a difference in the world with what I'm doing and what I love to do is probably like my biggest selling point, because I'm so passionate about what Gab does. So
That's beautiful. You get to actually get in the trenches with the brand, right? You're building something that you're passionate about, and you're just shoulder to shoulder with everybody else doing it too. That is awesome. All right, I got nothing else, y'all. Thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing your time and for being here. And I'm sure we'll do this again. I will give you the verdict of which is better in part 2. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you.